Welcome to Texas Senior Softball Podcast, episode number 7. Winter Worlds at BLD by Lone Star is over. In the major conference division, Front Row MVP versus RL Sports for the finals. I'm not sure who won that one. I believe Front Row did, but I'm not positive. With L3S, good old boys, taking third. In the AAA division, I have no idea how that ended. I left way before it was done. I want to give a shout out to the guys from the Bears for letting me come out and play with them this weekend. We started the tournament off 0-2 and then finished in the top 5. So we made a serious run towards the finals and just fell a little short. But, alright, guys, let me get into this because this right here was a joke. It was the worst tournament I have ever been a part of as far as how it was ran. This thing was pathetic. We'll start off with, of course, y'all know the brackets. We started at 4:15 for the AAA. Major started at 5 and 6. I think some of the guys didn't even play till 8:15 for their first game. For us, we had a horrible start, so we went 0-2. We played a 10:15 game and supposedly a 1 o'clock game that didn't start till 2 in the morning. And guys 40 and over did not leave BLD till 3 a.m. And then we had to be back for a 10:15 ball game Sunday morning. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm still tired, guys. But let me tell you, this this was a joke. We didn't get the rules until Friday afternoon. Supposedly some of the coaches got it first thing in the morning, Friday morning. I did not get my hands on them until late in the day. And guys, these rules didn't cover anything. It left a bunch of stuff out that was bad. And I'll give you an example. Screens. Nowhere in our rules did it say you had to provide your own screen. National rules do. But nowhere in these Lone Star rules that they provided for us did it say you had to provide your own screen. So, these senior teams went out there thinking they had screens, and we did not. Then they were telling teams that had their own screen, well, if you're using it, the other team has to use it. No, sir. If I want to use a screen, we can use it because it says we can in the rules. Doesn't mean the other team, that they didn't bring a screen, they don't get to use a screen, period. That's not our fault. But, like I said, Lone Star didn't tell people you had to bring your own screen. That was the first problem. Now, the second problem I had was nobody knew the rules. The umpires were clueless. Absolutely clueless. In the past, some of the senior tournaments you've played in, you could bat more than 12 guys. So, my team did that. Okay? We were playing a team classified as AA that should have been AAA. That's another issue I have, and I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll touch on that shortly here in a little bit. But here's the thing. We caught them in the 4th inning. We played all the way through the 4th inning with 14 batters. Once we tied them, they called time. After the inning was over, we'd scored our 5 runs. Inning's dead. We've gone into the next inning. We're on the field. Their scorekeeper comes up and says, hey, guys, they're hitting 14 people. You can't hit 14 people. You have to hit 12. Doesn't say that in our rules, but it doesn't say you can't do it either. So there was a confusion about it. So the umpire argued. And this poor lady, we couldn't get through a concept of what the lineup said. But anyway, that's beside the point. The umpire decided to make a phone call to get ruling. So she called the UIC. I'm not going to say any names, but most of y'all know who it is. Called the UIC. The UIC didn't know. So he went to Lone Star to get an actual ruling on this thing. So he did. And here's what the ruling was. And we'll get into this in a minute after I explain this, but this was absolutely absurd. The 13th and 14th batted. We went back to the top of the lineup. Those two guys batted. Our DHH came up, hit I believe it was a grand slam. And that was our 5 runs. We left. Now, this is Lone Star's ruling to something that happened. I could have argued it. If I really wanted to, I could have thrown a protest up for misinterpretation of the rules on what they did here. But here's the ruling. The ruling was, since they batted 14 and we're only allowing you to bat 12, but even though we didn't tell you this, and other teams were batting 13 and 14 in other fields, we're going to pull their last 2 batters out of the lineup, and we are going to pull 2 runs off the board, and you're going to start the inning over with them hitting with 1 out, with 3 runs across. What? So, let me get this straight here, guys. You take runs off the board and remove 2 batters out of the lineup. Now, here's my argument. 1, the inning was over. The new inning had already started. But third ruling was, you haven't thrown a pitch. Okay. The inning's still over. The new inning has started. If that's the case, when time runs off the clock, when an inning started, then you can actually end the ball game because he hasn't played the ball and the time runs out. But here's my second issue here. That's like protesting batting out of order. If you didn't catch it when it happened, you can't go back 4 batters and re-protest it. That's USSSA Rules 101. Come on, guys. Know the rules of what you're doing. This is a common sense rule. You can't make that rate. Well, they did, but honestly, they screwed the pooch on that one. We ended up getting our 2 runs anyway, but it cost us 1 of our 3 home runs. That was the 4-15 ball game right off the bat. I mean, just from the get-go. Now, we lost the game, 23-21. I went and watched some of the other games. I saw some pretty bad umpiring. Now, I'll give umpires this. It's an arc. They're not used to pitching. An arch. So, the 6-10, these guys have to get adjusted to calling that. They're used to calling 3-6 from release. Now you're looking at 6-10 from the ground. So it's something new to them. I'm not going to really get on the umpires for that, because that's a judgment call, and they have to make the adjustment to making those types of balls and strike calls. Now, we had some major conference teams that played the first game 5 runs, the second, halfway through the second game, 5 runs, and then all of a sudden it changed to 7 runs an inning. What? You can't read the rules? Guys, they had a printed out set of rules in their pockets they could look at. Didn't know the rules. We had MVP, one of the MVP teams, I think is Oil Patch, I believe. They were playing a game. A ball was hit to right field. It hit the ground, kicked out of play. The umpire gave the batter 3 bases on a ground rule double. Said that he went to third because he was halfway to second when it went out of play. What? Are you kidding me? And this was in the buffet. You give a guy a ground rule triple because he doesn't know the rules. Okay. Get off that soapbox. We're going to go back to another one. Our last game, we played at 1 o'clock in the morning. Our game probably went 30 minutes to 45 minutes over because the team that we were playing, these guys, in between every inning, the umpire allowed them to come and argue some rule in between every inning. And this umpire just allowed it to happen over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, what? Come on, dude. This is we were out of time. We're in the buffet. He was arguing innings. Now, he was arguing one that he was trying to put a sub in when he didn't have subs for an injured player. So, that's on them, whatever. But the same umpire, every inning, we had to tell them what the score was. I mean, it was pathetic. Every inning. Hey, this is the score. Hey, this is the score. Hey, this is the score. We had to tell them what balls we used. It was bad. Now, here's one of the biggest debacles that happened on my field. Sunday morning, we were playing a team. We roll into the top of the 7th inning. We're down by about 3 runs. And we're in the middle of scoring the runs. We've taken the lead, I believe. And I walk up to the plate. I'm the DHH. And I step in the box. And as the pitcher has released the ball and it's in the air, the umpire yells out, "This is the last of 5." Right mid-pitch. And I kind of step out during the pitch and go, "What?" And it lands for a strike. It's my fault for stepping out. But come on, man. We're in the top of the 7th inning. You're saying it's the last of 5? And I'm like, "No, dude, we should be in the buffet." "Nope, last of 5. "What?" "It's the 7th inning." "Nope, last of 5. "Okay." So we play. We take a 15-14 lead. And then Slinging Wood, the team we were playing, they get up to the plate. They get a base hit. We turn 2, and then they fly out. Should be going into the buffet, even though it's the 8th inning. The field umpire looks at the home plate umpire and says, "Hey, man, that's a ball game. That's 7 innings. We haven't had a buffet inning yet." So they make a call to the director. That's about another 15, 20-minute discussion. And then he sums up and says, "Ball game." "What? Ball game? We don't get a buffet?" "Nope, don't get a buffet. Y'all didn't score more than 5. Y'all didn't score 5. They got 3 outs and 4 batters. Ball game." Okay, so this is how it's run. Now, this is just stuff happened on my field that I witnessed. Guys, I heard this was going on the whole tournament. The whole tournament. I mean, it was horrible. And Lone Star, they couldn't get nothing right. They had games going 7 innings, and they're playing an 8th inning buffet. Because when they went into the 7th inning, they still had time on the clock. So they played the 7th inning and then played the 8th inning buffet. Matter of fact, the game before us on Slinging Wood, that's what they did. They went to the 7th inning with time on the clock. They played that as the last of 5, and they played an 8th inning buffet. The rules were very clear. 7 innings or 60 minutes, then the buffet. So, the buffet, 60 minutes, or the 7th inning is your buffet. That's what the rules stated. They didn't even know. Now, I'm not going to blame all this on the umpires. I'm going to blame a lot of this on Lone Star because they did not inform and get their umpires ready. That's just horrible, guys. Horrible. The problem I have with this is Lone Star acts like they own the state of Texas. That nobody's going to tell them how to run the tournaments. They don't make any mistakes. And from what I'm understanding, my podcasts are upsetting these guys. When I've been very good to all the teams, all the associations up until these last 2 podcasts. And the last 2 podcasts have been on Lone Star because of how they ran this tournament. Guys, if they run a good tournament, I'll give them praise. I'll be their biggest supporter. We just want somewhere to play, and we want it to be consistent, and we want it to be right. Yes, we're going to have growing pains. These weren't growing pains. These were screw-ups. These were flat out, unprepared, don't give a crap screw-ups. When you take the seniors and you start them at 4:15, 5:15, 8:15, and you play them till 1, 2 in the morning, that's ridiculous. Oh, my comment is that I've been told, well, we'll just run the seniors in tournaments by themselves. So now you're mad at us because y'all screwed the pooch. No. Run your tournaments. But don't play the seniors late at night and into the morning. That's stupid. You made a change. You had plenty of spaces to put these senior teams. Y'all chose not to. I was told it was going to happen. Then it didn't. And then you all act like y'all are pissed off at me because I made the comments. Guys, I already know Lone Star won't ever talk to me. They're not going to tell me anything. Which is fine. That's on them. I'm here to help everything go smoothly. I'm here to help get the rules out. I'm here to help people know where to go play. I'm here to help promote tournaments. I'm here to help promote teams. I'm here to have a good time. give y'all something to listen to and talk about. But at the same time, I'm going to call places out. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, they ran a great tournament when it was absolutely horrible. Oh, they had it all prepared and was ready to go when we didn't get brackets until Friday night. Rules until Friday. I mean, come on, man. You're a professional organization that runs tournaments all over the state of Texas. And huge tournaments. This isn't, just because we're 40s and 50s and we don't have 87 to 100 teams in a tournament doesn't mean we're dropping the bucket and who cares? Kick us to the curb. Come on, man. Make USSSA work. Y'all aren't the only show in town. You're USSSA. You're one organization, one company in a big organization of USSSA softball. Work together. Try to make it work with all the other organizations around. PSA, Son of God, whoever. You know, Softball World, City of Grand Prairie, Rowlett, Carrollton. Any of these teams can throw a USSSA tournament. It doesn't just have to be Lone Star. Y'all aren't the all of USSSA in Texas. You're one association. You're one organization within the association of USSSA. Guys, don't let your heads get bigger than what they are. Put the tournaments out there. Put them out there right. Let's have a good time. Give us a place to play and have fun. I mean, the games were smooth as far as the teams. We had fun when we got to play, and we wasn't arguing over rules that wasn't known by the umpires. Or they were being made up as the game was going along, and we had to adjust on the fly. You shouldn't take runs off the board because somebody didn't catch it at the time and their 6 batters past the ones they're protesting. Man, that's batting out of order 101. It's logic. UIC should make that call. It shouldn't have to go to anybody else. UIC makes that call. All right, well, how far were they already up the line? Oh, they were back to number 5. Okay, well, y'all didn't get it right. You missed it. So, hey, let's do this. They lose their last 2 batters. We play on from there. Because you didn't protest it right. I'll give you an example. In our last game, when we got smoked, this didn't make a bit of difference. And I didn't really argue it. I brought it to the attention. He said I did it wrong, so I was okay and went back to my spot. But you had a batter. You had a pinch runner on first. Batter gets a base hit. Pinch runner goes to second. Time's called. At that point, the batter runner on first decides him and the runner at second are going to switch spots. So they vacate their bases, cross paths, and switch spots. What? You're going to allow this to happen because I protested it as a dead ball? You're vacating your bases. You're out. You've passed another runner. You're out. You've touched the base in front of another runner. You're out. You've pinched run for a pinch runner. And the pinch runner's running twice. You're out. That shouldn't be a live ball call. That's a dead ball call. Really? Come on, man. All right, my last thing, guys. Then after this, I'm done. It's almost 20 minutes. Your classification of teams. Guys, I don't give a crap if it's your first time to ever play seniors or not. That does not make you a damn AA team. That's the excuse I heard all day. We spotted runs to teams that were not AA teams. We spotted runs to teams that were playing AAA that had 3 and 4 C players on it. I had a AA team that had 2 C players and the rest of them were D players. Listed as AA. And let me tell you something, guys. Every one of those guys could hit it out. That was not a AA team, but yet we had to spot them runs. Well, we didn't know how to classify because this is our first time to play seniors. You got any C players? Yeah, you're not a AA team. We didn't know. Yeah, you did. You cheated. You know you did. You got called out, and now your excuse is, we've never done this before. Take those 2 C players and go play E-ball. That's what it's equivalent to. See what happens. If rosters would have been online, we'd have protested that team. They'd have lost. You can't play C and have two be a double-A team. Come on, man. This is the same thing I did on the classification rules, guys. Use your heads and be right. Don't cheat. Don't play down just because you've never played senior softball before and you want to see what happens. It's ridiculous. And yet, Lone Star lets this stuff happen. Now, to Lone Star's defense, no rosters are online yet. They're having issues. So we really can't blame Lone Star for this one. It's hitting Lone Star. This is a team policing the teams. This is me policing teams. Guys, if you have C players on your team, you are not a double-A team. Sorry. Period. End of discussion. We have a team that's a double-A team. Beat my major teams last tournament. My majors team, they beat us 35-23. They classified themselves as a double-A team. They're getting spotted runs. They walk through the bracket. They're sitting in a championship game. Probably won it. I haven't seen the results yet. I'm sure when the results are out, I'll do a bracket, a rundown of how teams finished. Because I'm going to post this one. I don't need to say anything else about how the tournament was handled. I hope Jeff Hall hears this. Because Halsey hears this, man. He's already been notified, dude. He already knows what happened here. People have called him. Jeff Orr's called him. I'm going to send him a text saying this is the most pathetic run senior tournament I've ever been a part of. And probably the most pathetic tournament I've ever been a part of in 28 years of playing softball, 30 years of playing softball. Worst tournament that's ever been run in 28 years of umpiring all-star baseball. Dude, this was horrible. Umpires don't know the rules. And I'm not just talking about senior rules. They don't know the rules. You got guys out there umpiring, strutting around, acting all like I know I'm everything. Don't even know the rules. Don't even know what a ground rule double is. That's sad. And this is USSSA baseball, softball. If I was USSSA and I got these calls, I'd be flat out embarrassed that this happened. Yeah, I know it's a locally ran tournament, and I know Jeff Hall doesn't have control over it. But guess what? He's a senior coordinator. He should have a say in what happened here. And let me tell you something. These guys at Lone Star, they think they have no problems. Ain't nobody gonna tell them how to run their tournaments. They've said that to me. Nobody. They've been told, y'all run tournaments your way. Don't worry about anybody else. So they think that they don't stink and they're going to run their tournaments any way they want. Yeah, Cameron Warren, I'm probably going to get banned from Lone Star and USSSA with those guys. I would not be surprised if they tell me I can't play in their tournaments anymore because of these podcasts. But I'm not saying anything that's not true. I'm not making this stuff up. Ask anybody to play in this tournament. Sorry, Lone Star. I would love to have said, you know what, after my Thursday, Friday, tournaments ran really good. Y'all did a good job running it. But I can't. Because it was horrible. I definitely, as Lone Star, I'd be embarrassed. Much less USSSA as a company. Lone Star should be embarrassed. Lone Star should be the one saying, crap, well, boy, we screwed the pooch on this one. Instead, they're telling people, if you don't like it, don't come back. Why? Because they don't care. You don't like your late start times? Drop out of the tournament. Don't come back. That's the word we got. That's sad. That's the way USSSA is starting in Texas for seniors. Thankfully, 2 weeks ago, PSA and Son of God ran a great tournament. Now, the rules were a little different because we didn't have online rosters. We didn't have online teams lined up as registered, so they had to handwrite the brackets. They ran a great tournament. The only issues we had were the rule questions about having to be behind the net because that's what they said, and they provided the nets. I applaud those guys. I've actually asked PSA because they're a North Texas organization. Hey, y'all gonna run more senior tournaments up here? I'm sure teams would love to play in it. You had teams traveling from Kansas, from Oklahoma, I believe from New Mexico or Arizona, something like that, in this tournament. You think they're coming back to Winter Worlds next year if it's ran by Lone Star? Yeah, right. I wouldn't. It's a joke. Alright, guys. Sorry it went so long. I could probably keep going, but I'm not going to. This is Cameron Warren with Texas Senior Slow Pitch Softball Podcast. Stay young and swing for the fences.